Seven to Eternity is the newest book from Rick Remender, and I feel like the common statement is, what the hell is going on here? Let's find out. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is another episode of iRate Reviews, where I'm going to go over a new book from Rick Remender and Image Comics, and that's called Seven to Eternity. So Seven to Eternity, which is illustrated by Jerome Opna, written by Rick Remender, like I mentioned, of Tokyo Ghost, Black Science, Deadly Class. This is a book that's brand new, and to be perfectly honest with you, when you're picking up this book, the first thing that you say is, what the hell is going on? Simply because it is completely jarring as to how that book came to be. You know, what kind of concept is it? There's a script that basically gives you a little bit of an insight into what kind of situation we're dealing with on the introductory left-hand page, but then immediately we're thrust into this very colorful, artistically beautiful, and magical feeling world where, you know, you've got a woman with a bow trying to aim a snake, or what looks like a snake, at a giant boar that's like 30 feet tall. And immediately it just gets ridiculous, and I couldn't appreciate it more because the art of Jerome Opna is just so stunning. And when it comes to the story, as you kind of venture along and you make up and you hurry along that very steep learning curve for this particular world, you find that Rick Remender is telling a very simple tale. He's really relaying the story of somebody that's risen to power through lies and manipulation and citing fear and manipulating the characteristics of the world around it. Not necessarily through sheer force, but through the behind the scenes, the seedy business of the world. And this family, the Osidis family, has been living on the outskirts of this, and they were trying to avoid this for as long as possible, but the war came to them. Unfortunately, it kind of claims the family patriarch, and that causes the son to finally venture out to try and solve this situation for his family. And that's where we pick up in issue 1. You know, that small introduction, and then the overarching story is about to be laid bare. And to be perfectly honest with you, I was extremely intrigued with this first issue. Like I mentioned previously, the writing of Rick Remender has a pretty steep learning curve, but it's ultimately very rewarding once you get the opportunity to, once it clicks, you know, once the whirs and the clicks and the gears start grinding in the right direction. And this is going to lay out a completely different tale that's going to have some similarities to, like, you know, just the general situation that we have in America today, but in a much more fantastical and surreal kind of way. The connection with spirituality and magic versus any kind of science is just awesome, and it's going to allow you to kind of unleash, you know, unhook and completely detach and absorb into this actual world itself. Overall, it's a book that I can't wait to see more of, simply because it has me asking so many questions as to how the world got this way. It's definitely a book that I'd recommend picking up, and if you haven't had a chance to go get it already, definitely head back to your comic shop and grab one. So that was my review on Seven to Eternity, issue number 1, but what I want to hear is what you guys think of it too, so hit me up in the comments down below. As always, if you like what you see, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe down below if you want more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.